year-end numbers by Luminate are in. Luminate is the company that collects the sales data from the retailers within the music industry and compiles not only the weekly charts, but also the year-end and mid-year reports. Well, in 2025, vinyl record sales have reached an all-time high. In fact, in the last 15 years, vinyl has grown not only in terms of units, but also in terms of market share year after year. New vinyl pressings sometimes sell out within minutes, and yet vinyl has never been more expensive. So in 2026, with streaming still getting better and better in quality and still holding on to the lion's share of the music consumption, and with records nearly costing almost $40 a pop, is vinyl actually worth it anymore? Let's talk honestly. If you love vinyl records, music culture, and honest conversations about collecting, then stay tuned. I'm Arnaldo, and welcome to Fidelios Frequency. Vinyl isn't a niche anymore, it's mainstream. Major artists are pressing everything on vinyl, and big box stores are dedicating retail space once again to vinyl, and CD space is slowly shrinking or disappearing altogether in some retail stores. A new generation has discovered physical media for the very first time. All of this is great stuff, and yet there's a downside. When something becomes popular, it gets expensive. Labels know that collectors will pay. Limited editions don't mean what they used to. Let's not even get into what limited editions are nowadays. Vinyl didn't just come back, it's become a business. Record Store Day, Discogs, eBay, the audiophile reissues, all of that, we could talk about that for hours. And now let's talk about numbers when it comes to vinyl. New vinyl pressings start at like around $30, go up to $45. Special editions, 50, 60, maybe even more. And let me show you just a few of these that probably have shown how the market can be stretched. Color variants, zoetrope vinyl, liquid filled vinyl, picture discs, and special editions in expensive picture books, expensive audiophile editions, multi-album box sets focusing only on one album, and used records aren't cheap anymore. Gone are the days of the dollar bin gems. Now we have eBay raising prices on competing bids for records, Discogs, more of that, record fairs, but also the record seen as a collector item, as an artifact that you can invest in. And that's before we even talk about equipment. You need a decent turntable, speakers, an amplifier, a preamp, possibly, and then everything else that comes with vinyl collecting. Cleaning supplies, inner sleeves, outer sleeves, and if you're chasing hype pressings or buying everything on release day, it adds up pretty fast. Let's face it, vinyl isn't expensive because it's vinyl. It's expensive because it's popular. And now let's address the big question. Does vinyl sound better? Sometimes yes, sometimes not at all. The truth is, mastering matters more than the format. A well-mastered record can sound incredible. A poorly mastered record and a bad pressing probably is worse than a good digital stream or even a CD. I don't think streaming is the enemy. I think streaming actually helps discover music in ways that I couldn't even think of 15 years ago. Or even when I was a kid, I had to rely on word of mouth, seeing it on TV, the radio, reading about it in a music magazine, or hearing at a friend's house. Vinyl isn't about perfection, it's about presentation, character, and engagement. And then there's buying vinyl as an investment, but that would be a whole other video. So, why do people still buy and collect records? I think it forces us to slow down. You don't skip tracks every 10 seconds. You put the album on, you listen to it from the beginning to end, flipping sides as the artist meant you to hear their music. You appreciate and you look at the artwork, you read the liner notes, you commit to the music. Vinyl turns listening to music into an experience and not just background noise. And in today's world, where we are bombarded with so much content on social media, on various platforms, on various devices, I think that matters. So, is vinyl still worth it in 2026? Here's the honest answer: vinyl is worth it if you enjoy full albums, if you enjoy collecting, and you care about the experience and not just the convenience. Vinyl is not worth it if you just want cheap access to music, if you feel pressured to chase the hype, and if you want it to sound flawless every time. Vinyl isn't about whether it's better than streaming or CDs. It's about being different. And if that difference matters to you, then yes, vinyl is still worth it. And now I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Is vinyl still worth it in 2026? Will you be collecting more or less in 2026? Let me know in the comments below. If you care more about music than hype, then don't forget to subscribe to Fidelios Frequency. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.